a neck stem. So how do you want, like what direction do you want your head to be facing? Do you want it straight on? So if you do straight on, well, first of all, let me make a neck stem. You don't need a ton of clay. This is probably enough, so let me roll it into a ball. You're right, Sam, roll it into a ball. All right, so here is, I would say this is the size of a, I have no idea, what would this be the size of?
I need a little bit more of this stuff.
Oh yeah, help yourself.
But there's no more.
Oh, is there no more? Like how much more do you need? There is more, I got a whole box. So let me just quickly open it up so that you can get what you need. So, I don't know how much this is, but it kind of fills the palm of my hand. You don't need it to be super thick, but you don't want it to be super thin. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna roll it into a ball. And then I'm going to kind of create the thickest coil. So I just kind of coiled it a little bit so that it's like a little neck, you know, to my head. And it's gonna look goofy at first. All right, so we've got the little neck nub, and then we've got our head. So now, you don't really need it to be too long. This is the length of, there's like no rulers near me, but like 2 inches maybe is enough. Start placing that neck nub on the head to decide where you want it to go. So if you want it to be just, and if you don't have any idea, then maybe just have it look straight ahead. If you are doing head in the clouds, maybe you want the head to be slightly tilted, like you're kind of turning your head. So then you would maybe put it off to the one side. If you want it looking down, you would maybe tilt it, kind of have it a little bit forward of the head so that when you place it into the base, you will have, you know, you'll kind of be able to get the head tilted down. So once you have your neck nub created, we're gonna set it to the side. And then with the remainder of the clay that you have, you're going to ball it up. Nothing new there, right? So we're gonna kind of squeeze it together. We're gonna make the base. Then you're gonna start to kind of experiment with like where the neck is and where it will sit. And then you'll also kind of understand how we're gonna construct this.
Is this enough for the base?
I would get a little more. Get a little more, and I just, if anybody finds that they need more clay, I just put out some more clay on the counter. We want our bases, the shoulders, to like really be sitting up on the table. We don't want it to be like a flat, little tiny, wimpy little base. It will make it hard for the head to have a base to be stable. So you want it to be like big enough. Like this, I didn't even measure mine, the clay that I took. I bet it's close to 1 pound that I took. So you're gonna make your base, and it's gonna be like a ball or a boulder. Then Now wait till everyone's back at their seats so that you can kind of pay attention to this part. Then to make the base, you're going to, trying to get this to stay. You're going to take that ball, am I on there? And you're going to just tap flat one side on the table. So it's like a, you know, it's like a boulder. I always think of it like a boulder with that flat base. Then you're gonna take your hands and you're gonna squeeze it. So imagine like you're making the shape of shoulders. So I'm just kind of squeezing the clay to make, it's kind of more like flat, and making my shoulders. You will get to shape this more. This is almost like another blank canvas where you can add clothing, you can add details. Is yours gonna have arms coming out or hands? Remember how mine has little hands doing things? There's lots of ways to communicate your idea visually, but for now, we're all gonna have pretty basic. It reminds me of that Senior Rock out by the backside, like where the buses are. Have you guys seen that Senior Rock? That's what this kind of reminds me of. All right, here's the next kind of weird thing you're gonna do. You're gonna take your thumb and you are going to insert it into the center here to make like an opening for the neck nub. Okay, you following me here on this? And you need to make it wide enough for the neck nub to fit in. So see what I got going here. And then eventually that head will attach and we'll get it to look natural. But this is where you start. If this is your shoulders and your neck nub, this is where you start to kind of imagine the head. You know, I think I do tend to like to tip my head. I think I'm gonna do a little bit kind of upward. That's just kind of what I'm finding to be something I like, all right? So that's where I'm going to go. So then I could take a needle tool and just kind of mark, this is not a needle tool, a needle tool here, and I'm just kind of tracing where I want to score it and attach it to get that this appearance with mine. So now I can see where I want to attach my neck nub, and then I'm just scoring in. And look how I'm really scoring in. I'm not, oh, you can't? Oh, thank you. Please give me feedback when you can't see. Now I'm dealing with multiple cameras. All right, and then I'm just adding some water just to create some slip here in the head. All right, then I'm gonna set that down. Then I'm going to score the top of my neck nub. You guys following me on this? It's the kind of the same steps over and over again with scoring, slipping, attaching, covering your tracks. And now I'm going to, just when I attach them, I'm gonna really do, like, I find this works, people, if you put the two clay together and you give a little twist. And then I'm taking that new clay with the neck nub, and I'm going to cover my tracks by pulling that new clay up onto the head. I need a chin on mine too. Wherever you're gonna attach it to the head. So wherever, so maybe put the neck nub and then trace around it where you want it, and then you'll know where to score it. So I have my little head here. It's a little off kind of turn to the side. And then our next step is we're going to then, I always just laugh at them because like I'm looking at this person and they just kind of crack me up a little bit. Then you're gonna score like the bottom of the neck nub and then also score inside of your opening that you've created. And here's where you can kind of determine the length of your neck. And so like I don't have it in very far, so that looks like an awfully, so if I show you on the camera, that's a very long neck. So that's what gave me the giggles when I was looking at it. So I definitely plan to maybe deepen the opening inside the shoulders so that it doesn't look so long. And then I'm just gonna score the bottom of my neck all around it. And then I'll do the same thing inside the hole in the shoulders. This clay is really wet, so I do think today when we go to wrap up and set on our shelves, I think we're gonna wanna really utilize crumpled paper towels, and we're gonna set our heads down because I worry that gravity with the heavy head that's not hollowed out, you might come tomorrow and the neck may be a bit bent. So we'll be, I'll show you how to do that. So I'm just scoring the inside of this. I put a little water in there. Now I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of put that neck into there. And then I'm going to pull the clay up from the shoulders, as you can see here, onto the neck, trying to make these 3 different pieces of clay kind of unified as one. It might be okay. I don't know. I don't know if I think gravity is gonna be kind or not. It might be okay. And then there is my little head, neck and shoulders. Just so happy.